You have to understand something about your life. Sometimes you are going to have to walk alone, not because nobody loves you, not because nobody cares about you, but because there are certain places your purpose is taking you where everybody around you cannot go. And that's okay. Stop being afraid of being alone just because you're used to having people around you. There is a difference between being lonely and being alone. Sometimes being alone is where you finally hear your own thoughts. It's where you discover what you really want. It's where you stop living according to everybody else's expectations and start building the person you were meant to become. There comes a point in your life when you have to understand that everybody is not going to walk with you. Everybody is not going to understand your vision. Everybody is not going to support the direction you are taking. And if you keep waiting for everybody to agree with you before you move forward, you may spend your entire life standing in the same place. Sometimes you have to walk alone. Walking alone doesn't mean that you have nobody. It doesn't mean that you are unwanted, forgotten, or unloved. Sometimes walking alone simply means that you have reached a season where your growth requires you to make decisions for yourself. You have to stop depending on applause, approval, and constant encouragement from other people. You have to learn how to move even when nobody is cheering. There is a strength that comes from learning how to stand on your own. When everybody is around you, it can be easy to confuse other people's opinions with your own thoughts. You hear what they think you should do. You hear what they believe is possible. You hear why something won't work. And after hearing those voices long enough, you may start questioning your own ability. But when you spend time alone, you begin to hear yourself again. You begin to ask important questions. What do I really want? What kind of person do I want to become? What am I willing to sacrifice? What habits are holding me back? What am I doing every day that is taking me closer to my goals? Those questions can change your life because growth begins when you become honest with yourself. You cannot build a stronger future while constantly running away from yourself. You have to be willing to sit with your mistakes, learn from your past, and accept that some of your old habits cannot come with you into your next chapter. And that can be uncomfortable. Sometimes your biggest battle isn't another person. It's the version of yourself that has become comfortable with doing less. It's the voice inside you that says tomorrow. It's the habit of making excuses. It's the fear of failing. It's the need to be accepted by everybody. You have to challenge that version of yourself. You have to tell yourself, I may not know exactly how I'm going to get there, but I'm willing to take the next step. That's where confidence begins. Confidence isn't always walking into a room believing you are better than everybody else. Real confidence can simply mean knowing that you will figure things out. It means trusting yourself enough to try. It means understanding that even if something doesn't work, you can learn, adjust, and try again. You don't need to know every step before you take the first one. Think about how many opportunities people miss because they are waiting for certainty. They want to know exactly how everything will turn out before they begin. But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to move with incomplete information. You have to learn while you're moving. You have to make mistakes and use those mistakes as lessons. And when you walk alone, you learn something important. You become responsible for your direction. You stop blaming everybody else. You stop saying they didn't help me. You stop saying nobody believes in me. You start saying, what can I do with what I have? That's a powerful question. Maybe you don't have the resources you want yet. Maybe you don't have the connections you wish you had. Maybe you don't have the experience. Maybe you don't have the perfect circumstances. But you have today, you have another opportunity to learn, another opportunity to practice, another opportunity to improve your attitude, another opportunity to make a better decision. Don't underestimate what one day of disciplined effort can do when you repeat it again and again. You don't have to build your entire future today. You just have to stop abandoning yourself. There will be moments when people leave. There will be moments when plans change. There will be moments when the people you expected to understand you simply don't. Don't let those moments convince you that your journey has no value. Sometimes people can only understand your destination after they see where you arrive. Until then, keep working, keep learning, keep growing, keep becoming. You don't need to announce every move you make. You don't need to explain every goal. You don't need everybody to understand what you're building. There is power in quiet progress. Work when nobody is watching. Practice when nobody is praising you. Improve when nobody notices. Keep your promises to yourself when nobody else knows you made them. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. And that trust matters. If you say you're going to learn, learn. If you say you're going to practice, practice. If you say you're going to stop wasting your time, protect your time. If you say you're going to pursue something meaningful, take action toward it. Your life changes when your actions begin matching your intentions. So don't be afraid of the season when you have to walk alone. Use it. Use it to think. Use it to learn. Use it to build. Use it to become disciplined. Use it to discover what you're capable of when you stop waiting for someone else to push you forward. You may not have a crowd behind you right now, but you can still take the next step. And sometimes the next step is all you need. You have to work on your discipline every single day because your future is not built by what you do occasionally. It is built by what you repeatedly do when nobody is forcing you, watching you, or rewarding you immediately. A lot of people have dreams. They have ideas. They have plans. They can tell you exactly what they want their life to look like. But having a dream and building a dream are two completely different things. The dream gives you a direction. Discipline gets you there. You cannot depend on motivation every morning. Motivation feels good, but motivation comes and goes. Some days you will wake up excited. Some days you will feel powerful and ready to conquer everything. But other days you will wake up tired. You will question yourself. You will feel distracted. You will want to delay the work until tomorrow. That's where discipline becomes important. Discipline says, I don't have to feel like doing it. I made a commitment to myself, so I'm going to take the next step. That mindset can completely change the direction of your life. You have to stop believing that successful people always feel motivated. They don't. They get tired too. They experience disappointment too. They have bad days too. The difference is that they learn how to continue moving even when their emotions are telling them to stop. You have to learn how to separate your feelings from your responsibilities. If you decide that you will only work when you feel inspired, you will constantly be starting and stopping. One day you are focused, the next day you disappear. One week you are serious, the next week you make excuses. And after enough time passes, you look back and wonder why nothing has changed. Consistency changes that you don't need to make a massive move every day. Sometimes discipline is simply doing the small thing you promised yourself you would do. Write a few pages, practice your skill, study something useful, organize your priorities, finish the task you keep avoiding. Spend less time scrolling and more time learning. Wake up and give your attention to something that can improve your future. These actions may look small, but small actions become habits, and habits eventually become part of who you are. You need to understand that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. When you discipline yourself, you are telling yourself that your future matters. You're saying, I care enough about the person I'm becoming to make better choices today. That's powerful. Every time you choose what matters over what is easy, you strengthen yourself. Every time you refuse a distraction so you can focus on something important, you become more disciplined. Every time you keep going after the excitement disappears, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. And the more you trust yourself, the stronger you become. One of the biggest problems people face is that they make promises to themselves and repeatedly break them. They say they're going to start tomorrow. They say they're going to stop wasting time. They say they're going to learn something new. They say they're going to take their goals seriously, but tomorrow becomes next week becomes next month becomes another year. Don't let your life become a collection of promises you never kept. Start small. Choose one thing you can control today, then do it. You don't need to change everything at once. You need to become consistent with something meaningful. If you want to become better at something, practice it regularly. If you want to become more knowledgeable, study regularly. If you want to become more organized, create better routines. If you want to become more confident, keep doing things that challenge you and allow you to learn. Your confidence grows when you repeatedly prove that you can take action. And don't make the mistake of thinking discipline means you will never have a bad day. You will. There will be days when you fall short. There will be days when you waste time. There will be days when you make the wrong decision. Don't turn one bad day into a bad week. Don't turn one mistake into an excuse to quit. Get back on track. That's discipline too. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about returning to your path when you get distracted. You have to stop looking for shortcuts to everything. There is value in doing the work. There is value in learning slowly. There is value in practicing when you're not naturally good at something yet. The world may celebrate the finished product, but the finished product was created through countless ordinary days. Nobody sees every hour of preparation. Nobody sees every time you had to start again. Nobody sees every moment when you wanted to give up but decided to continue. But those moments are building your character. So work on yourself when nobody is watching. Create routines that support the person you want to become. Protect your time. Control your distractions. Take your responsibilities seriously. Give yourself fewer excuses and more action. When you wake up, don't ask only, what do I feel like doing today? Ask yourself, what needs to be done today? That question can change everything because your feelings may tell you to stay comfortable, but your goals may require you to move. Your feelings may tell you to quit, but your future may require you to continue. Your feelings may tell you that you're not ready, but action may be exactly what prepares you. You don't have to become a completely different person overnight. Just become a little more disciplined today than you were yesterday, then do it again tomorrow. And again the next day. Keep stacking those days. Keep honoring those commitments. Keep choosing progress over excuses, because eventually the habits you once had to force yourself to practice will become part of your identity. You will become someone who follows through, someone who takes action, someone who doesn't need constant motivation to keep moving. And when you become that person, your goals don't feel quite as far away. You have to understand that your mindset is one of the most important things you can work on every single day. Before you can change your circumstances, you have to start changing the way you think about those circumstances. Your life may not change overnight, but the way you see your life can change today. A strong mindset doesn't mean you never experience fear, disappointment, or doubt. It means you don't allow those things to control every decision you make. Fear may show up, but you keep moving. Doubt may appear, but you keep learning. Failure may happen, but you refuse to make failure your identity. You have to stop telling yourself that you are stuck just because things aren't moving as quickly as you expected. Sometimes progress is happening beneath the surface before you can see the results. You are learning. You are developing patience. You are becoming more disciplined. You are discovering what doesn't work. All of those things matter. Your mindset determines what you do when life doesn't go according to plan. Anybody can feel confident when everything is working. Anybody can stay positive when the money is coming in, the opportunities are appearing, and everyone is supporting them. But real character is revealed when things become difficult. That's when you have to tell yourself, this is hard, but I can learn from it. You have to train yourself to look for lessons instead of only looking for problems. Maybe you made a mistake. Ask yourself what it taught you. Maybe someone rejected you. Ask yourself what you can improve. Maybe an opportunity didn't work out. Ask yourself what you learned from the experience. Don't waste difficult moments by only asking, why me? Ask, what can this teach me? That question changes your position. Instead of seeing yourself as powerless, you start looking for what you can control. And there is always something you can control. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control whether you keep learning. You can control how you respond. You can control whether you get back up. You can control what you give your attention to. That's where your power begins. You also have to work on your character because success without character can become empty. You can have talent, opportunities, and attention, but if you don't know how to handle responsibility, pressure, and relationships, those things won't automatically create a good life. Character is what you do when nobody is checking. It's keeping your word. It's treating people with respect. It's admitting when you're wrong. It's being responsible for your actions. It's choosing honesty when lying would be easier. It's staying humble when things begin going well. You should be working on those qualities every day because the person you become matters just as much as the things you achieve. And then there is confidence. You need confidence, but confidence doesn't mean believing that you are better than everybody else. Real confidence is knowing that you can handle challenges without needing to have every answer immediately. You build confidence through action. You cannot simply sit around waiting to feel confident before you begin. Sometimes you have to begin while you're nervous. You have to speak while your voice shakes. You have to try while you're uncertain. You have to learn while you're still inexperienced. Every time you do something difficult and survive the experience, you learn something about yourself. You begin to realize Maybe I can handle more than I thought. That realization creates confidence. So challenge yourself. Learn something you don't know. Practice something you're not good at yet. Speak up when you have something valuable to say. Take responsibility for something important. Stop running away from every uncomfortable situation. Growth often begins where comfort ends. But don't confuse growth with constantly comparing yourself to other people. Your journey is different. Someone else's success does not mean your opportunity has disappeared. You don't know their entire story, and they don't know yours. Stop measuring your value by somebody else's timeline. Instead, ask yourself, am I becoming better than I was before? That's the comparison that matters. If you were less disciplined last year and you're becoming more disciplined now, that's progress. If you used to give up quickly and now you're learning to stay consistent, that's progress. If you used to doubt yourself constantly and now you're learning to trust your decisions, that's progress. Don't overlook those changes simply because they aren't visible to everyone else. Your character is being built through the choices nobody applauds. Every morning gives you another opportunity to work on yourself. You can choose better thoughts. You can choose better habits. You can choose better responses. You can choose patience. You can choose responsibility. You can choose to learn instead of complain. And you can choose to believe that your future can be different from your past. You are not required to remain the person you were yesterday. People can grow. People can learn. People can change their habits. People can become more confident. People can develop stronger character. You have permission to outgrow the version of yourself that was afraid to try. You have permission to stop carrying old excuses into new opportunities. You have permission to become more disciplined, more focused, more responsible, and more confident. But that transformation requires daily effort. Work on your mind when negative thoughts appear. Work on your character when nobody is watching. Work on your confidence when fear tells you to stay quiet. Work on your skills when you feel inexperienced. Work on your patience when results take longer than expected. Work on your attitude when circumstances aren't perfect. The person you want to become is being created through what you repeatedly choose today. Don't wait for a completely different life before you decide to become a different version of yourself. Start with your thinking, start with your habits, start with your choices, start with the way you speak to yourself. Because when you change the way you approach challenges, you begin changing the way you approach your entire life. You have to understand that consistency is what turns effort into results. You can have the greatest idea in the world, the biggest dream in your heart, and all the potential you need, but if you don't stay consistent, your potential will remain potential. You have to keep showing up long after the excitement disappears. A lot of people start strong. They get inspired, make plans, write down goals, and promise themselves that this time will be different. For a few days, they are focused, they feel motivated, they believe everything is about to change. But then life gets busy, the excitement fades, the work becomes difficult, progress becomes slower than expected, and suddenly the commitment disappears. That's where consistency separates intention from transformation. You cannot build a different life by taking action only when you feel inspired. You have to develop the ability to keep moving when the work becomes ordinary. Some days will be exciting. Other days will feel completely normal. Some days you'll feel proud of yourself. Other days you'll wonder whether your effort is making any difference. Keep going. You don't always see the results of your effort immediately. A seed doesn't become a tree overnight. A skill doesn't become mastery after one practice session. A strong character isn't built from one good decision. It happens through repetition. You read again, you practice again, you learn again, you try again, you wake up and do what needs to be done again. That's how progress is created. Don't underestimate ordinary days. People often think their breakthrough will come from one massive opportunity, one perfect idea, or one incredible moment. Sometimes it does, but more often, the opportunity becomes valuable because you prepared for it during all those ordinary days. The work you do when nobody notices is preparing you for moments when everybody notices. So don't complain about the quiet season. Use it. If nobody is paying attention to your work right now, that's okay. You don't need an audience to improve yourself. You don't need applause to practice. You don't need recognition to become better. Build anyway. There is something powerful about becoming comfortable with progress that nobody can see. You learn to stop chasing approval. You learn to stop needing someone else to tell you that you're doing well. You start measuring yourself by your own commitment. Did you show up today? Did you make an effort? Did you learn something? Did you take one step forward? Those questions matter more than whether everybody else noticed. And consistency doesn't mean doing everything perfectly. You will have difficult days. You will make mistakes. You will lose focus sometimes. You may even fall back into an old habit. Don't allow that moment to convince you that you failed completely. One bad day doesn't erase months of progress. One mistake doesn't erase everything you've learned. The key is to return. If you miss one day, come back the next day. If you lose focus, refocus. If you make a mistake, learn from it. If you fall behind, start moving again. Don't turn temporary setbacks into permanent decisions. You also have to learn patience. Everybody wants fast results. We live in a world where people see someone's success and often don't see the years behind it. They see the achievement, but not the preparation. They see the opportunity, but not the countless attempts that came before it. Don't compare your beginning to somebody else's finished product. Your job is to keep building. You may not see a major difference after 1 week. Keep going. You may not see it after 1 month. Keep going. You may still feel like you're far from your goal after several months. Keep going. Progress is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. You become more disciplined. You make better decisions. You manage your time better. You react differently to problems. You become more patient. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You become more confident in your ability to figure things out. Those changes are valuable even before they produce visible success. And remember, consistency becomes easier when you create systems instead of relying entirely on motivation. Give yourself a routine, set clear priorities, break large goals into smaller actions. Decide what needs to happen today instead of obsessing over everything that must happen eventually. If your goal is big, make today's responsibility small enough that you can actually complete it. You don't have to climb the entire mountain today. You just have to take the next step. Then tomorrow, take another. Eventually, you look back and realize that all those small steps took you somewhere you couldn't reach by standing still. That's what consistency does. It turns small actions into meaningful change. It turns practice into skill. It turns effort into experience. It turns discipline into character. And it turns a distant goal into something you can actually reach. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel completely ready. Stop believing that you need perfect circumstances before you can begin. Start with what you have. Work with what you know. Improve as you go. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to keep moving. There will be people who don't understand what you're doing. There will be people who question your goals. There may be moments when even you question yourself. Keep your attention on the work. You don't need to prove your future to everybody today. Let your consistency speak for you. Every day you show up, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're strengthening that identity. Every time you keep going when quitting would be easier, you're teaching yourself that your goals deserve commitment. Keep building, keep learning, keep improving, keep showing up. The life you want may not appear all at once, but your daily actions can gradually create it. And the person you become through that process may be even more valuable than the goal you originally started chasing.